Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online series 13 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. In the previous episode, which I've linked down in the description below, we tried out a really fun Choice Scarf Lunala team with Icy Wind. The idea of this team is to catch your opponents off guard with surprise speed control via Icy Wind from Lunala, allowing sweepers like Palkia, Zasha, and Yveltal to really just, overwhelm your opponent with offense early in the game. So details for the team are in the description below. This is definitely a really interesting restricted set. I haven't seen it all in Series 13, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So thanks so much as always for watching Road to Ranked. If you enjoy, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it. And question of the day, I want to know what new item you'd like to see in Scarlet and Violet as we, approach the brand new game. So let me know in the comment section below, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, for this one we've got Yveltal, Zekrom, Kyogre, Palkia, Zacian, and Incineroar. I really honestly like Lunala plus Palkia here, just like Icy Wind, and Palkia kind of crushes everything. I'm a pretty big fan of that here. I think I'm interested in Calyrex because of the Focus Sash. I mean, I could go Yveltal, right, because it gives me Snarl, but I think I prefer Calyrex Zacian here. The main thing with Snarl pressure is that it's quite good into Kyogre, Yveltal, and Palkia, but it does feel a little passive to me, where, like, I think we have a lot of just, like, incredible offense here. I think Palkia in itself can nuke so many things on my opponent's team with Icy Wind support from Lunala. So, I'm fairly content with this. Amoonguss into a matchup with Yveltal and Zekrom is always a little bit shaky. Yveltal, obviously, because can hit us for super effective. Although we do have the Koba Berry, so you could actually make a decent argument for it, because the idea is, okay, let's say our opponent commits a Dynamax to Yveltal with the Koba Berry on Amoonguss. I can just survive a Max Airstream and Spore in return, and that's an amazing trade, right? If we're able to put our opponent's Dynamax Pokemon asleep. So that's one thing to consider. Zekrom, I think, is a little bit scary because of Max Lightning pressure, but the idea here is with Lunala and Palkia, I can just go for, like, Icy Wind, Max Wormwind. Palkia is fairly speedy on this team as well. So we can also just, like, Moonguy speed, Max Wormwind. They're going to go with Kyogre and Zekrom. Okay, that works for me. The Kyogre's not really scary here. I think what's mainly interesting on turn 1 is, like, what the Zekrom slot does, right? Because you could just protect. You could switch it out as well. Kyogre is not that scary, but it, could obviously commit Dynamax here. It is faster than... Okay, so speed order is Kyogre, Palkia, Zekrom based off abilities. Because the thing is, basically, like, a Max Wormwind into a Zekrom slot is super obvious that I think Zekrom considers switching out here into Zacian. So the play I want to go for here is Icy Wind, Dynamax the Palkia, and Max Wormwind into Kyogre, because this covers for Zekrom protecting or switching out. They are going to stay in, though, so let's see if they go for a protect. If Zekrom just attacks here, this would be a complete nightmare. I'd be really surprised to see Zekrom just attack here, truthfully. So best case is probably just Zekrom protect. Kyogre tries to Water Spout. We Icy Wind and Wormwind them, so they do, like, no damage with Kyogre. But they are going to commit the Dynamax here to Zekrom. Interesting. Okay. I don't think you're going to Max Guard here, because it's not, unless Kyogre had Icy Wind. That would actually be really interesting if we both had Icy Wind here. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought Zekrom switching out into Zacian was, like, a fairly likely play there, and I did not want to lose to that immediately. But yeah, they are not going to make the switch. They're not going to Max Guard either. I mean, this is still okay, unless their weakness policy is Zekrom, because I'll get Icy Wind for a speed drop, so now I outspeed both, and then Wormwind for an attack drop onto Zekrom as well. Okay, that confirms you are indeed Choice Scarf Kyogre, as it still outpaces me there. That's fine, though, because now you're stuck in with the Choice Scarf Kyogre. Oh, never mind. I actually just gets a one-hit KO. Okay. That was a crit. That may have mattered. I actually would have really preferred Kyogre to survive there, because then you're at, like, very, very low HP, and you just do absolutely nothing going into turn 2 of the battle. But, yeah, they go for their own Max Wormwind here. Okay, that really doesn't do that much damage. Cool. Like, in the grand scheme of things, this actually just worked out totally okay, right? Because it's like, I cover for the option of Zekrom max guarding, protecting, or switching out into Zacian. What I really don't want to do in this game is just waste my turns at Dynamax with the Palkia. So, yeah, they just bring out Zacian now. We're looking fairly strong, because I have this Scarf Icy Wind once again. I'm just going to go for Icy Wind here. With Zekrom, like, I have Play Rough as well as Calyrex Glacial Lance in the endgame. So the question here is, do I want to commit Max Wormwind into Zekrom or just Geyser into Zacian? Given that the last Wormwind might not even, like, it might not even be a 2-hit KO on Palkia here, I'm down to target Zacian. And they don't protect. Yeah, this is just Choice Scarf Lunala being able to give us very, very unique speed control, which is awesome. With that, then, we should get another one-hit KO onto the Zacian slot. Palkia was just amazing in this matchup, truthfully. So, yep, there's Life Orb Max Geyser. And that Max Wormwind from Zekrom, honestly, was just really underwhelming into Palkia after the attack drop. It might be Assault Vest Zekrom, given how they're playing this. I don't know my, like, Icy Wind Lunala damage calcs into Zekrom, but they're just going to commit another Max Wormwind. Fine by me. We survived with 1 HP. No way. I would have been okay fainting there, right? Because I can just get a free switch it into, like, Zacian. Probably protect Zacian, Icy Wind a third time, and then just play rough the Zekrom. And Incineroar was their last one. Okay, cool. So, forcing them to bring Incineroar out right now is nice, because it means you don't get an Intimidate onto either of my Pokemon in the back, which is pretty good for us. I don't really need to continue Icy Winding here. I guess it's fine to go for it, though, because it sets up the Calyrex for success, so I can just Icy Wind and Max Guard. Yeah, and they're going to end up forfeiting. This was Choice Scarf Lunala putting in so much work, especially against the Zacian, right? I guess, like, turn 1, it didn't really make that much of a difference because they ended up being Choice Scarf Kyogre, and so as a result, it's not like I was able to just KO it before it could move. But I think being able to have that element of surprise, like, my opponent was probably just expecting Palkia to be slow, right? Actually, no. Lunala's Icy Wind went off before Kyogre, so they should know that it's Choice Scarf. But basically, I think they were probably making the read that I would target the Zekrom slot there, and I was like, in my eyes, well, I think I can survive another Wormwind here, so even if you Max Guard the Zacian, it's fine. I still get some damage off, and the next turn I can just Icy Wind if you KO Palkia, bring in my Zacian, Behemoth Blade you. So, yeah. I think Palkia just looked really good there, and having this fast, like, speed control from Icy Wind is also valuable. So, yeah, let's keep things going. Oh, wow. This next one is really cool. Zeraora Regieleki, Xerneas, Dialga, Kyogre, Magearna. So with Zeraora and Regieleki, we have to be worried about the Choice Scarf Plasma Fists into Explosion. That is fairly scary, but you know, one thing we could do is lead Yveltal Zacian and just Sucker Punch Quick Attack Regieleki. Or simply just Protect. That also works. Scarf Lunala not as valuable into the potential Regieleki stuff here. I actually don't hate the idea of Yveltal plus Zacian in this one. I think I want to bring Calyrex because it has Focus Sash. Palkia seems fairly weak into this composition, and then Scarf Lunala is the fourth. I actually don't think Amoonguss is a terrible bring either. Xerneas scares me a lot here. Not a sentence I ever thought I'd be saying in Series 13, but if they can position it correctly and get Geomancy off while I don't have Zacian out on the field, that could be very, very bad for me. But I'm just excited to see this team. I'd love to see a Lucky Zeraora lead. Okay, they're going to go with it. Yeah, I mean, the question now is then, like, are you indeed, like, the Explosion gimmick, right? Because if you are, I can just Sucker Punch Quick Attack immediately. And I don't hate that idea. You know, the other thing is I could actually Sucker Punch Quick Attack the Zeraora if it goes for just Scarf Plasma Fists. And then Regieleki blows itself up with Explosion, but for what, right? Because then it's a normal explosion instead of electric. I'm down to try to double up on Zeraora here. Okay, they don't go for Fake Out or anything. Oh, that's not enough damage, is it? Okay, they go for Electro Web, though, so it wasn't the Plasma Fist stuff. Alright, that's honestly fine, then. Thunderbolt, maybe? Okay, well, my Sucker Punch Quick Attack play would not have worked out against Substitute Regieleki. Interesting. Okay. Lucky could Dynamax here. And no lie, that is fairly strong to everything that I have right now. Wow. Okay. That is really cool. I also expected to just KO Zeraora there, so not KOing is a little bit disappointing, but that's okay. It makes sense for them to maybe Dynamax and then try to blow Zacian up right now. I don't hate the idea of Snarl into Protect here. Okay, if they don't Dynamax, that also works for me. Because I think for my opponent's end, you're incentivized to... That's so cool. Manual Electric Terrain. Okay, but they Rising Voltage into Zacian, so I'll take that. Maybe it was better to... Oh my gosh, we actually almost just KO Regieleki. I was going to say maybe it was better to break the substitute, because awkwardly for me, Snarl does actually go through sub, but... Very, very cool first 2 turns. In the end, I'm actually very content with the position that I've ended up in, so I'll take it. Xerneas comes out. I mean, my question is, does a Rising Voltage at KO at them being at -1? I wouldn't expect it to, personally. So I'm okay clicking Snarl and just... What could they have in the back for speed control? Nothing really, other than maybe Scarf Kyogre. Like, I don't hate just Behemoth Blade snarling here. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. The Zeraora Regieleki combination was really cute, but in the end, yeah, they didn't actually really get very much off of it. But if the Rising Voltage went into Yveltal rather than Zacian, I think this would have been a completely different game. But I figured they'd want to aggressively target Zacian down there, because if you get rid of Zacian, it basically paves the path for Xerneas to just win the game. And so if I actually just attacked with Zacian there and lost it, I think it's very likely Xerneas just gets Geomancy off and sweeps me. So that is definitely a really interesting combination. I've never run into... Yeah, like Rising Voltage, or sorry, the Manual Electric Terrain from the Zeraora paired with Substitute Regieleki. Really, really cool stuff. And the idea is when you see that lead, you get baited into thinking, hey, they're probably going to try to go for Choice Band Explosion, right? Because that's what I was trying to cover for. And instead, they went for a completely different play. So, yeah, either way, though, that like could have been an insta loss, I think, immediately on turn 1. Like if the Zacian just goes down if they Dynamax the Regieleki. So for us to have won that, especially in the amount of turns that we did, I feel very, very lucky. Just because that game could have been a complete disaster, even though it looked pretty dominating for us there. So yeah, we've had a very fast couple of games so far, so we'll keep things going. Third match here. There's another Zeraora, but Yveltal, Kyogre, Zacian, Groudon, Lunala. I kind of like Yveltal Lunala here on my end, or Yveltal Zacian. The other debate is who to Dynamax here. I think Palkia and Calyrex are acceptable candidates. I don't even hate the idea of Lunala Palkia here, because Icy Wind then allows Palkia to just outspeed and KO a lot of things. Zacian in the back. And maybe Yveltal's the 4th here. Okay, I like that. I think Palkia generally has a lot of value here with Icy Wind support. It can outspeed practically everything. Max Geyser in itself is so powerful here. They only have 1 water resistance. That's Kyogre. I don't necessarily need to Dynamax Palkia immediately either. Like, I could just protect it, for example. Try to bait out some stuff from my opponent. So we'll see. Zeraora is, I think, the wild card here, just because, like, we fought against a couple at this point in Series 13, but I still don't have, like, the most experience fighting against it. And, like, that last set that we just went up against, for example, I would have never predicted, but it is going to be Zeraora and Yveltal for my opponent. Okay. Could also be, like, a self-weakness policy activation set here, so that's one other thing to watch out for. I don't hate the idea of turn 1 Icy Wind and Max Geyser. Okay, we're actually faster than Yveltal naturally here, so that's good to know as well. But, like, yeah, I'm... Actually, instead of... I would need an Icy Wind to drop Zeraora's speed, right? But then it's like, if they are weakness policy, I'm just activating weakness policy for them. That's kind of awkward. But I think I'm still okay with the idea of Icy Wind, Dynamax, and... do I want a Geyser or Warm Wind here? They could be Assault Vest, so I'd rather just go for my strongest attack. My ideal output would be Yveltal, like, protecting for some weird reason. Like, a Protect plus Electro Web would make sense, actually, as a play from their end. The other thing is, I don't know my Zeraora speed tiers, like, super well off the top of my head, so I was wondering if they were max speed, whether or not Palkia outspeeds, with them being at -1 speed from Icy Wind. Oh, interesting. Okay, they're not going to commit a Dynamax on either Pokemon, which means I maybe had the potential to just KO Yveltal there. That doesn't look like Assault Vest to me either. So they're probably Snarling here if I had to guess, or Tailwinding. Tailwind would be a pretty big issue, I think. Because so much of what the team I'm using wants to do is just move before our opponent moves and use Icy Wind to maximize speed control. And a Tailwind would completely throw that off. Zeraora feints. Oh, they actually opt for Foul Play. That is, in my opinion, probably... That was a one-hit KO through Shadow Shield. Wow, okay. Black Glasses then, maybe? Or Life Orb? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that is a little bit awkward, I'd have to say, but I think I can just bring out Zacian. My Zacian pressures Yveltal with the one-hit KO. Palkia can threaten whatever's coming in. It's going to be Kyogre on their end. Now, I don't know if their Kyogre's faster than me. That is the main problem right now. It didn't look like Zeraora was Assault Vest either, so the AV very likely could be on the Kyogre slot here. I mean, I'm down to just Protect. Like, Zacian being their last one makes the most sense, right? Which isn't really great for me, truthfully, given what I have out on the field right now, but... Like, I think I want to just Protect here and go for Wormwind into the Kyogre slot. They're going to Dynamax. Has to be Dynamax Kyogre, right? Dynamax Yveltal. Like, you could actually Max Yveltal if you're expecting Zacian to Protect here to Airstream. But, yeah, it's going to be Max Kyogre. Yeah, I think, like, I just actually... I guess I'm used to playing with, like, bulkier Lunalas and then, like, not fighting Life Orb Foul Play Yveltal. If they have Max Strike here, I'd also be in a lot of trouble, I think. Okay, Yveltal protects. Nice. That's good to see. I think it's very likely that this next turn... Palkia is faster here than Kyogre, which is huge, actually. That was actually really solid damage. I could just double up on a Kyogre with Behemoth Blade Wormwind this next turn. Especially if they're Assault Vested. But Life Orb Foul Play also pressures my Zacian for a KO now. Yeah, that's a little bit scary. If I were them, I would Foul Play, probably, and Geyser into the Zacian slot. Like, I kind of feel like I need to conserve Zacian to beat them. So, like, it feels bad going for this, but I'm going to switch out into Yveltal and then Geyser into the Yveltal slot. I think if they have a faster Zacian, by the way, I'm probably already done for at this point. They could also, I guess, switch their Yveltal out for some bizarre reason. Oh, that also really works. Okay, yeah, so they weren't Assault Vest on Kyogre either. Where's... So no AV on any Pokemon, like Mystic Water, Kyogre, Life Orb. I'm curious what item the Zeraora had, maybe Focus Sash? Either way, though, yeah, that Max Guard is really great to see. And they actually went for Sucker Punch as well, which makes sense. You get some chip damage on the way out. This is going to be a very close finish. Because it should be Zacian as the final one, right? Yeah. If we were Groudon here, we would have probably just won, but... Because, like, Yveltal would be so good into Groudon. But, like, now Zacian pressures me with Play Rough on either slot. But the thing is, if you Play Rough Yveltal, I can actually just Hydro Pump you for a KO. I think what I'm going to do here is just Foul Play into Zacian and Hydro Pump into it. Because, like, I'm not KOing Kyogre from this range anyway with either Pokemon. They go for Close Combat onto Palkia. Okay. So that means they probably did not have Play Rough. I think we should win off that, personally. Because now I get Foul Play off into Zacian. They Geyser. I should survive. That That was close, though. Okay. And now I bring out Zacian. It's the question is, does Sucker Punch KO their Zacian here? Like, if I don't think Sucker Punch is KOing, I could actually Sucker Punch and Quick Attack their Zacian slot, but then a Kyogre Origin Pulse just picks up a double KO. This is intense. They have a defense drop, so I'm willing to bet Sucker Punch just KOs, and I can just play rough here. But I could see Zacian surviving with like 1 HP here. Okay, they have their own Quick Attack as well. It's okay for now. We don't misplay rough. Okay, that's huge. Zacian versus Zacian. I have my own Quick Attack. I don't know how fast you are. Do I just go for Quick Attack? I don't know if Quick Attack KOs from that range is the thing. Oh, man. It is adamant max speed. Is there anything about their team that would give me knowledge of whether or not... I don't know. Max speed on a team like that makes a lot of sense. I think Quick Attack will fall short just by a little bit, but if I'm slower, I would just outright lose here, so I'll go for this. Okay. No! I don't know. I was admin max speed, so the odds of us being faster were decently high there as well. We did just fall a little bit short of the Quick Attack KO there. I just wasn't sure who was going to be faster there. Was there any way to know? Like, I don't think we were ever in a position where we could have confirmed whose Zacian was faster there. But, yeah. In my head, like, I didn't know the damage calc there either, so I figured there was, like, a chance we could KO. But maybe I should have just, yeah, risked the speed. I think there, though, it would be really frustrating if, like, I end up just getting outsped there. And then I'm like, okay, well, Quick Attack, like, had a chance of KOing. And, like, I feel like I just am so used to fighting against opposing Zacians that are max speed now that I wanted to cover for that. Yeah, them also having Quick Attack to cover for my Evoltal was rather unfortunate there. So, yeah, that was a really fun game, though. I can't really complain at the end of the day. Would love to know how fast their Zacian is, but we'll look for one final one. Okay, we've got Victini Sun here. Haven't fought against Victini in a minute. Venusaur concerns me a lot. I actually don't really have a way around just an immediate Sleep Powder, do I? That's bad. Yeah, that's not good. Lunala, Evoltal. What would my opponent lead? I could see like Venusaur Victini, Venusaur Groudon. If you go Venusaur Groudon, how do I counterplay that? Kind of just have to eat up a potential Sleep Powder. But what I could do is like go with Evoltal Calyrex maybe. I kind of want Calyrex in the back though. Maybe it's just the Evoltal Lunala, Calyrex, and then just Zacian. Who do I Dynamax here though? Palkia's not a terrible max option in this matchup, I think. They do have Gastrodon though, which concerns me. I don't know, this matchup feels really weird. Like, also I haven't really fought against that many Victini Sun teams, and I think like Venusaur in particular is just what I'm concerned for here because of Sleep Powder pressure onto practically anything. So let's see. Victini, Venusaur, yep. Okay. What do we want to do here? Guess it could be a switch it into Groudon. I'm honestly okay clicking Oblivion Wing plus Icy Wind here. I guess Victini could set up Trick Room as well. There's a lot of flexibility with this lead. You could pivot Victini out into Groudon, set up the Sun, Sleep Powder either slot. You could stay in with Victini, switch your Venusaur out, go for V-Create. That's another option. I've never fought against Dynamax Victini so far in Series 13. I don't expect that to be the case right now, but you never know. I'd be okay with them switching to Groudon, because if they were to miss Sleep Powder, they would actually just lose so much immediately. And even if they hit, like, we have a chance of waking up. But This also works, I guess. They're not going to switch. They're not going to protect or Dynamax either Pokemon, so I get Icy Wind off. Oblivion Wing should just KO Venusaur. The thing is, with this, I expect my opponent to probably angle to set up Trick Room with Victini. Oh, it's White Herb. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, and they taunt into Lunala. Okay, that's the Choice Scarf Lunala coming in huge. Beautiful. Oh, that honestly really couldn't have played out any better for me, in my opinion. Like, I get a free knockout on a Venusaur. I don't get hit by a Sleep Powder, and Victini doesn't get anything off. It's essentially like Victini switching out at a Groudon and then missing Sleep Powder. Which is what the scenario I was describing earlier, which I was like, okay, that's really good because essentially you just lose a Pokemon and you don't really gain anything. But yeah, this works out even better for us, so I'm very happy about that. Okay, Groudon comes out. Lunala's in a slightly awkward spot now, but I actually don't hate the idea of clicking Icy Wind. This could be a max Lunala game at this point, actually, but I think we want to respect Zacian being my opponent's final Pokemon. So here, I'm okay clicking Foul Play into Victini and just Icy Wind. Dropping Groudon speed here is actually fairly nice as well because it ensures Calyrex Ice Rider can outpace it, and that's valuable. I'm just really happy Venusaur didn't get a free Sleep Powder off there. And yeah, I think like my opponent was trying to cover for Trick Room, right, given the taunt. Which makes sense. When you look at the team composition we have, there's an Amoonguss, a Calyrex, a Palkia. That all screams Trick Room. So I think what's really interesting is in all the games I played with this team, I've basically never really clicked Trick Room. I think part of it is honestly my mastery of this team is not super high. This team is actually, I think, one of the more difficult teams to use so far in Series 13 because it's not like super intuitive. And something like Choice Scarf Lunala like can give you major payoffs, or it can be completely useless for you and be kind of like a dead Pokemon slot. But they're going to Dynamax Groudon here. The one risk in Icy Winding here is potentially activating a weakness policy, but I think in this case I'm okay risking that if it means getting a speed drop onto it. Cool, no policy. Alright, Yveltal gets Foul Play off into the Victini slot, and that is a KO. Beautiful. This lead is just putting in so much work for us, and it's really been my favorite lead with this team thus far. Ooh, okay, they have Max Phantasm here. Let's see if that gets a one-hit KO through Shadow Shield. It does not. Nice. Okay, that's huge. One thing to remember, though, is defense drops. I had a game where I was practicing with this team where I Dynamaxed Yveltal, and it just got one-shot by Zacian, and I was like, how in the world did I get one-shot? But it had eaten up a defense drop from a Max Phantasm from Calyrex Shadow Rider earlier on in the game. So I expect my opponent's last one to be Zacian here, but it's actually Gastrodon. With that, I think there's really no shot of them winning. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's never over until it's over, but I'm feeling fairly confident about this positioning. I think the one thing to watch out for is probably like Snarls from Gastrodon, right? But I think Dynamax Calyrex Ice Rider should just win this game at this point. Especially thanks to the speed drop on Groudon. So I am down to just click Snarl and Icy Wind. I think Calyrex and Zacian should close out this one for us. But yeah, I think really what gave us a major advantage. Also, they brought Gastrodon, Groudon, Victini, and Venusaur. Okay, yeah, so 2 restricteds out of the 4. The Gastrodon makes sense if you're worried about the Palkia, which is exactly why I didn't want to bring Palkia, because I was like, if I bring Palkia, then I have to worry every time I click Max Geyser. And I don't love that. Yeah, so they can max click all they want, but special defense boosts don't really help them with what I have in the back. And given that you have Max Phantasm on Groudon, like, I'm almost sure that's going to be a Assault Vest variant. Or an Assault Vest, not a Assault Vest variant. Yeah, just because it's really rare to otherwise run Phantasm. Okay, Yawn and Yveltal, it's fine. Lefties on Gastrodon, that's also fine. I'm down to just bring out Zacian here. Like, I guess there's the chance they're not AV on Groudon, and they could protect here, but even if they protect, you would Yawn into one of the 2 slots or Earth Power. But I think here I'm honestly content to just Foul Play Groudon, Behemoth Blade it. It's just so rare to be running Max Phantasm if you're not Assault Vest, right? Because it's like, what are you dropping for it? But I guess you could run like Phantasm Quake, Flare Protect. Or you could run 4 attacks, no, like, without an Assault Vest, but yeah, like, being 90% plus confident that they're Assault Vest here means I can just double up into it. And yeah, Gastron's annoying with Yawn, but it's never really picking up KOs right now. So, yep, we almost KO Groudon there. Foul Play will deal the finishing blow. Excellent. Bye-bye, Groudon. And they go for a Yawn onto the Yveltal slot. Yep, that makes sense. I think in the end, like, I really think Victini is really, like, fun and cool, but it's kind of hard for it to, like, have a good place in this metagame, because, like, Yveltal and Calyrex are on so many teams, and just being weak to those is obviously, like, not super good. I'm just going to Snarl and play rough here. Yeah, we don't even need to Dynamax to win this one, but Yveltal and Lunala was just super, super strong as a combination here. So, very, very pleased about his performance overall. And ultimately, yeah, I think that we were able to just gain a huge advantage. Knocking out Venusaur on turn 1 meant we were already in really good shape, but then them having Gastrodon, like, it was honestly a Pokemon that just didn't provide any value for them in that matchup, given the 4 that I brought specifically. So, yeah, like, I think any other Pokemon would have been a little bit scarier there, especially like a Zacian, but in the end, we had such a major lead that I think with speed control, Calyrex and my Zacian were primed for success there in the end. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. So thank you so much as always for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you do, please show your support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to answer the question of the day, and I'll see you all soon. All right. Peace.